before we get started with episode 104, we are back from the hiatus and we are stoned than ever. I want to thank my good sponsors, the great people, the ones that have still helped me keep this going. My boy Ian30 out here doing the works. Get a video edit by my boy Ian. He does work for the Botchies, for me, for ICW, RPW, H2O. He's done all these great, cool little cutscene packages of matches, superstars. He does it all. Shout out Ian. We also got the Skittle Squad. Shout out Lil Skittle doing the damn thing in his Discord server. Go join that. Find out what you're missing out on. We also got Pookie wrestlers outside the Canadian region making all these great Pookie-fied wrestler designs just like this one right here. Hit up Pookie today. We also got the Bocce Boys. Shout out Hammer and the crew. Just like Skittle, I got the flags right there behind me. Go get that at www.thebotcheboys.com. They got the shirts, patches, shot glasses, the cool flags. I think they have throw bags. I'm still waiting for my Bocce Boy throw pillow for the couch. And we also got beat up photos. Shout out my girl Becca Dub, always doing the damn thing out there. Get a cool photographer, do the cool photographer thing. And last but not least, Anti-Everything Films. Get your shit VHS, physical media. He is helping that come back in the wrestling scene, because we need that still alive. Tape trading, DVDs. Oh, they're the best. And my guest for the evening, when I was living in the upstate New York region, the Rochesters, I'd always hear about this individual, and we had one of his recent friends on, Don Freeze, so I'm very excited to talk to this individual who's been absolutely killing it. I'm talking about the Moonlight Sun. Mike SKYROS is here in the Soup Kitchen Studios. Mike, how are you doing on this lovely evening, my friend?
I'm good, bro. I appreciate you having me on. I've been excited to talk to you for a minute, so I'm happy to be here, man.
Hell yeah, brother. And I always gotta kick it off like how I always do. Mike SKYROS, what made you want to get into pro wrestling? Like, what made you want to become a professional wrestler as well? And any memory of your first pro wrestling memory? Or pro wrestling match, my bad. There we go.
First match I saw or first match I was in?
It's both. So what's the one
Okay,
that really
okay.
grabbed you? And then
Yeah.
from there?
Yeah, man. So like I got into it a little later than a lot of people get into it because you always heard about I grew up in the 90s. So you always heard about wrestling. Wrestling was huge. It was part of pop culture. But for whatever reason, like I don't know if it was like we didn't have the channels or whatever, but I didn't catch on to it at that point. But I'd always heard about it. Later, 2002, I was on vacation in Niagara Falls, Canada. We were staying at a hotel, and down the street in Niagara Falls, they had this bar, restaurant, merch shop called the WWF Zone at the time. So because that was there, they would show video packages like rotating on the hotel like infomercial screen. One of the video packages was from Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker from the ladder match on Raw for the Undisputed Championship.
Oh
I was like, whoa.
yeah.
And that just grabbed me right off the bat. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, I know these guys. Like, I like what they're doing. This is really cool and fun to watch. I have to find more. I was 9 years old. So after that, I started trying to find everything I could about wrestling. And then to answer part two of your question, um, it was funny. Like a lot of the other guys, like I did, like we gave each other wrestling moves in the backyard and all that. And then, you know, fast forward, I've told this story before, but we ended up going to training at the Institute of Pro Wrestling, where I still train to this day with your boy Skittles.
Hell yeah.
And absolutely, shout out little Skittles. And we trained there, and eventually I was ready for my first match. My 12-year anniversary is coming up. That first match was April 5th, 2014. It was myself versus Loca Vita, Guero Loco, Father Derek, whatever the name you may know him as. And my third opponent was a guy that I tagged with, I grew up with, I trained with, all that. His name is Jacoby. He's gone by a bunch of different names, but at that time he was Jacoby. And I watched that match back recently, and for a first match, I was very fortunate. I was in there with two guys that really like knew what they were doing and made me look good. And I had a bunch of bad rookie matches after that, but that one was okay.
Absolutely, and that honestly, and that happens throughout the wrestling career. You have some bangers, then you have some that like
Yep,
it was good. It was a wrestling match that
100%.
existed. That's how I
Yeah,
always
yeah,
stated, at least.
that's a good way to
But
put it.
Mike, you talked about Skittle. You talked about training upstate. I
Yeah.
gotta know what's the scene like upstate in the New York region.
Bro, the scene's really cool right now. So, like I said, man, it's funny because I don't know how we got to this point, but I'm one of the more tenured guys. Like, I've been training since 2014. I've been training since 2012. I've been wrestling since 2014. So, I've been around a little bit and I've seen a lot of different versions of it. But we have a really good crew of people that have come up within the last probably 4 or 5 years, young wrestlers that are really talented, that really are catching on from all the areas. We have guys from Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Binghamton. It's been really cool. So I think it's been like a changing of the guard in the scene where you've seen a lot of newer guys like step into prominent positions. I mean, you mentioned Don Freeze, like he's the preeminent example. He's on GCW. That's the biggest
Literally,
independent promotion in the world. It doesn't
he's
get
out there
bigger than
killing
that
it.
on the independent. Absolutely. I'm so happy for him. And he's only been doing this a few years. I've watched his entire journey. So I'm really happy to see where it's at now because as much as like you want to see yourself do well, you don't want to see it die after you. You want to, like you always say, you want to leave it better than you found it. And these guys that are coming up now are going to carry to that next plateau.
Absolutely. And then also on top of working upstate, you also work for a little company called Green Mountain Wrestling up in the Vermont scene. What's honestly that area like? I gotta know because I
Oh
feel like
man, I
there's
love
not
it.
many places that are Vermont wrestling. Like that's the only place honestly I know that's in Vermont.
Yeah, I'm extremely biased. Obviously, being the Green Mountain champion, being someone who has benefited a lot professionally from Green Mountain, and Green Mountain's killing it. Like we just collaborated with again, GCW is probably going to come up
TCW,
a few
yep.
times this year, but it doesn't get bigger than that on the independents, and they collaborated with us. That's not an accident. So there are, I mean, it's like everywhere else. There are smaller promotions, but Green Mountain Wrestling is the game in town for Vermont. I've been very fortunate to wrestle a lot of places, New York, New England, Canada, the South, tri-state area. I'm trying to do more, but I've seen Green Mountain Wrestling grow really well over these last few years. And the cool thing is Green Mountain Wrestling ownership reached out to me on Twitter of all places, and they were like, "Hey, we're Green Mountain Wrestling. We're out of this area, and we'd like to have you on to some shows. Would you be interested?" And I didn't know anything about them, so I gave it a kind of like, yeah. I mean, I wasn't familiar with their brand, and it was kind of a relaunch for them. So I was like, okay, let's give this a shot. Let's see what it's all about. And I'm glad I did because it's been a huge priority for me. It's somewhere I always look forward to going to. There isn't drama in the locker room. It is a bunch of people pushing each other to try and be better and grow this thing as much as possible. And we just posted earlier, I just reposted it on Instagram and Facebook, but we sold out our shows on May 17th. We just sold out all of our balcony seats that we just opened. We sold out all of our front row seats months out. It's a
I'll say
beautiful thing.
basically 2 months in advance because at the time of this
Yeah,
recording, it's March 30th.
yeah,
Holy
we're
shit.
killing it. I
That's
love being a part
crazy.
of it.
And then
Yeah,
you talked about reboot, and I wanted to talk about this specific match in this specific company because for the
yeah,
upstate New Yorkers who don't, and the people that don't know, 2CW. Mike,
yeah.
do you have any 2CW stories for us?
Oh man, there's
I
a
know
lot. I'm trying to,
you recently wrestled Mike Santana there too, so that was
dude.
pretty cool.
It's crazy because I've wrestled a lot of people. I've been very fortunate to wrestle a lot of the best people. Uh, Mike is someone, he's only going to get better because he's on the roll of his career right now. He's just constantly elevated his game. But like to catch him at his very peak, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of ways to describe that feeling, but it was so like professionally cool and personally cool. Just like we were 700 deep, an hour from my hometown against one of the best going, and they were cheering for me. That's pretty sick. And Mike brought it. He did not take it easy on me. He did not lighten up on me by any means. And I went, punch for punch with him the whole night, and that felt very good. 2CW. I'm trying to think of like things that'd be appropriate to tell, but one that was really cool for me. The first day I did ring crew there, we were in Gloversville for the Hall of Fame show, and we had crazy legends in the building. We had the Destroyer out of Buffalo, New York. It's like super legend. We had Spike Dudley, and we had Terry Funk himself. And the first person that I ever met on an independent wrestling show was the legend of legends himself, Terry Funk. And he was nice to me, and he was cool. He didn't act like he was big time or anything. I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to carry his bags. It was the highlight of my life. Dude ruled.
Hell yeah, and I believe, if my memory does me correct, Terry Funk is a former 2CW heavyweight champion.
He
He
sure
won
is.
that, like, during the legit old age and craziness of his life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, fucking big shouts to Terry Funk. He didn't wear no mouth
Always.
guard.
No man. Shout out to the legend Terry Funk, bro.
Oh shit,
Always.
hell yeah! Well, Mike, I got some more questions. A fan submitted question. Usually this is what I ask, but someone asked it tonight. Who is
Yeah.
on your pro wrestling bucket list? Who do you want to wrestle in these upcoming months? Some dream names you
Mm.
might want to throw out there. Maybe some young gun that you like to spin kick in the mouth. Hey, I don't know.
I'm equal opportunity. I'll spin kick all of them. Bear, Br- Bear Bronson's a guy I've known a long time. I wrestled him probably, I want to say like 2018 or something in a tag match. But man, seeing what he's done, where uh, he left AEW and he took his career in his own hands and he reinvented himself, and he was always good. He was always a cool guy, and to see him take it to that next level is something that is so cool for me to see. And he's someone I want to get in there with and test myself. Marcus Mathers is the guy I really want to test myself against. One of them that is coming up at Green Mountain Wrestling, I laid a challenge, and I don't expect him to decline the challenge. Mr. Joey Janela is on a collision course with yours truly at Green Mountain Wrestling in May. So those guys, man, Killer Cross is someone, again, I always like I spoke about Bear Bronson. Killer Cross is someone that has always taken his career into his own hands, and I just really like the way he approaches wrestling. I want to mix it up with him and see where I line up. And in terms of like really like shooting my shot for some guys I haven't gotten in the ring with, Frankie Kazarian is a guy, we're from the same family tree in terms of our wrestling training. I admire him greatly for what he's done, and I want to mix it up with him. I want to wrestle Eddie Edwards 1,000 more times. I want to wrestle Mike Santana again. Really see like, because he gave me some advice and I put it into play, and I really want to see how I've leveled up since then.
Oh yeah.
And I know it's these last two are going to be long shots because they're in WWE, but two people that I really want to get in there with, Carmelo Hayes, who I wrestled in 2015, and we went to a 35-minute draw. Never stepped in the ring with him again. I'd really like to.
Dang!
Yeah, yeah. I'd really like to mix it up with him.
Continue the
And
story.
yes, one of my all-time favorites too, which people might not expect based on my wrestling style, but Rey Mysterio is one of my favorites.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
I know he's in WWE. I know he's a legend, but man, if I could get in the ring with him, that'd be super cool. And there's a lot more I could go on. Guys like Jeff Hardy that are still out there that are my
Oh yeah.
favorites. Like I could go on, but I
I
could have you
love it.
all night.
We also have this one then because it's somewhat in the same category. Mike SKYROS, what are some of your in general pro wrestling goals for this year?
Yeah, so biggest one has been my goal for the last few years, but appear on a nationally televised wrestling show. So whether I'm security guard 7 or I'm wrestling already in the ring from Syracuse, New York, it would be an absolute highlight, an absolute like it would be the plateau I'm trying to get to the next plateau, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Additionally, I want to wrestle off the continent. So there's a lot of great stuff. I was just watching the 16 carat tournament for WXW in Germany. That's somewhere I would love to be. I'm a big fan of Kyushu Pro, who we've collaborated with at Pro Wrestling Grind. I wrestled their champion at the time, Kodai. I would love to wrestle for Kyushu Pro specifically. I know a lot of people talk about wanting to go to Japan, and that's been a big goal of mine, but Kyushu Pro specifically is where I'd like to be. I love the way they approach their wrestling, what they do for the community. So those are a few of my goals.
Hell yeah. And then we also, Mike, if you have not seen the podcast, we talked a little wrestling. Now we get to talk some outsider wrestling stuff. And then we reel it back in
Yeah,
with more wrestling. So trust me on
absolutely.
that one. So I kick it
I
off
got you.
always. Mike Skyros, any cool clips outside of pro wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person where I like to go out and do just about anything. I try not, I can be a homebody if I had a long wrestling weekend. Sometimes I want to
Oh
sit around,
yeah.
but most of the time I want to go out and just see what's happening. So if I'm in a new town, if there's a cool museum, if there's a cool outdoor like a little 2 mile loop hike, if there's a mountain to climb, if there's a band to see, I'm into all of that. I'm taking I'm not sure if you're familiar with this gentleman, but he's an excellent wrestler. Look him up if you don't know him. Andy Brown. He's out of Philadelphia, but he wrestles a lot in New
Heard
England
of
as
them?
well. Yeah, he's excellent. I'm taking him and his girl to the Vampire Museum in Pennsylvania coming up soon, and I'm really excited for that. But anything like that, man, I go to a lot of live music. I'll go to like Philadelphia. I'll go to Boston. I've been to Buffalo a few times, but like just to go to a show by myself and be free, I do a lot of that. And then when you don't catch me in any of those places, I love as boring as it sounds. I love the gym. I love going to the gym. I love taking 2 or 3 hours to just work on myself, and that's fun for me as well.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, and you talked about traveling locations. And for the ones who
Yeah.
didn't see my recent vlog with my good friend Bobby V, right before we went to our little gimmick, Bobby took me to the Wisconsin Cheese Castle. It was
Oh yeah,
it's all on there. I don't have to say much because the ruckus.
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Well, I
But
got one
hey,
for you. So one of my goals this year. So we spoke about Green Mountain Wrestling. We've been establishing relationships with different venues. We wrestled at this great brewery called the Alchemist in northern Vermont. That venue is probably 5-10 minutes from the world famous Ben and Jerry's ice cream factory. That's on my list for this year. I must go to the Ben and Jerry's ice cream factory and get a couple pints. That's big for
hell
me this year.
yeah, and now that actually
Hell
brings me
yeah.
into this. We talk a lot of food on here, Mike Skyros.
Yes,
We
sir.
talk cheese and ice cream. I got it now. Now, what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Ooh, okay. It changes from time to time because I go through different, like the moon, I go through different phases. So right now I'm really into like super chocolatey, so like any like double chocolate, fudge, dark chocolate, even like chocolate mints I'm really into right now. But it depends what vessel we're in. Like if I'm getting a Ben and Jerry's, I like a good half baked. I like a good Boston cream pie, double fudge, anything like that. We're talking milkshakes. You can't go wrong with chocolate mint or cookies and cream. My biggest thing, like food wise, I eat pretty healthy, but my sweet tooth is my thing. So when you start talking ice cream, you start talking sweets, you're talking my language.
Well, I could continue the sweets then because we got another fan submitted food question. Mike Skyros, what is your favorite cookie?
Ooh, yeah. I like I could, so if you guys are ever in the Utica, Rome area, you want to go to a place called Holland Farms. They have a half moon cookie that is to die for. That specific cookie. That's the one.
Those are so. That is the
Oh my God.
underrated cookie right there. The
Yes,
half
sir.
chocolate frosting, vanilla
Yes,
frosting.
sir.
Sign me up because they're not too
Preach.
moist and they're not too dry. It's like the
Preach.
perfect goddamn consistency for a cookie. I
Bro,
agree
you said
heavily
it.
with that.
You absolutely said it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we go from the sweets to the salty. Mike Skyros, what is your perfect pizza?
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, and
So,
especially being from
yeah,
New York.
yeah. So, fun fact, I spent my first college years at St. John's University in Queens. So I got the real New York City pizza
Oh
experience.
yeah.
Uh, Brooklyn, Brooklyn has the best pizza in the world. I don't care what anybody says. You go to Brooklyn, you go to a local owned spot, pretty much any local owned spot. I want the fat slice that you got to fold, thin crust, extra cheese. If you want to throw a little like buffalo chicken on there or pepperoni, but you can keep it simple. If you got a good like wide, extra cheesy Brooklyn style slice, that trumps just about anything going, in my opinion.
So that's literally when I was working, living in Rochester. Shout out, literally wearing
Yeah,
a Mark's Pizzeria. When I was
hell
working
yeah,
for them, the three main slices we put out was cheese, pepperoni, and fucking buffalo chicken. So that's
hell yeah,
crazy. You brought up
hell
those
yeah.
three exact flavors because I was thinking, I was
Sounds like
like,
my kind of spot.
yeah, no, If you're ever in the Rochester area, Mark's Pizzeria, treat you like
You got it.
family.
Free
But
plug.
hell yeah! But we also now have this one, Mike Skyros. What is your favorite kind of sandwich?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so it depends where I'm going, but I love I love a good like a lot of people like hot subs. I like a good cold sub most of the time. Get me get me wheat bread, get me pepper jack cheese, get me some spinach on there, get me some onion on there, light mayo, roast beef, and turkey. That's my
Hell
sandwich.
yeah!
Oh
That
yeah.
is very good. That's a nice. Yeah,
Got a little bit
I,
of
I have
everything.
the culinary background, so just thinking about that in front of me, all the
Yeah.
different flavors and layers,
Yes,
sounds
sir.
perfect. But Mike, you said you're coming up on 12 years of wrestling, so now
Yes,
I
sir.
gotta know, traveling all up and down the road, Mike Skyros, what is your favorite on the road snack and beverage combo? What are some of your on the road necessities that you always gotta have with you?
That's a great question. So
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty dialed in on my road snacks at this point. I've been fortunate to go to a lot of different places. If I'm just driving and I need something for like in the car that'll be available almost anywhere, get me a sugar-free NOS, get me the biggest water I can find, get me two bananas and a Barbell's protein bar, and we're cooking. If I'm stopping somewhere, I'm stopping at Sheets. I'm stopping at Waffle House Post Show. Those are my stops.
All right, so now I asked Don Freeze this one too, so it only makes sense. Mike Skyros, what is your Waffle House order?
Hell yeah! Shout first of all, shout out to Malcolm because I find him to be a very
He's the
positive
originator of
individual.
that one.
Yes, sir. So for Waffle House, I'm getting the All Star Special. I'm getting 8 eggs fried over hard, however you want to phrase it. Home fries. Get me the side of sausage. Get me water, no ice, cranberry juice if they got it, chocolate chip waffle.
Hell yeah! I love my
Yeah.
cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is
Yes, sir.
it is, it just hits at the right times.
Yes, sir.
Especially on the road for some reason. Like, just
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
about that cup of cranberry juice just,
yeah. And
it's
it's
like an
gotta
energy
be,
drink.
yeah, it's gotta be in the little plastic cup with like it feels like it's like grooved like asphalt on the side of
Yep.
it. Like that's the one that hits.
Sign me up. But we got
Yeah,
one
man.
more food question to go, and then we got six more questions left, Mike. The last food question being, and this is a recent one I've been asking everybody, Mike Skyros, what is your perfect appetizer platter? You have up to 5 items.
Ooh. Um, So like if I'm out on the road, I'm getting an appetizer platter. I'll usually get whatever the combo is. So they'll usually have some sort of combo that's like chicken tenders or bites, mott sticks, tater tots, or like some sort of cheese filled jalapeno ball or something. But if I have to get one singular item, I'm always going mott sticks. Mott sticks are my number one. If we're at a restaurant, I'm getting some of those for the table.
Then you would absolutely love the Wisconsin scene, because it was 2 months ago. I went up to a place and they had a 1 pound, 1 foot mozzarella stick.
Oh my God. This is
I ate the
insane.
whole thing. It was huge.
Hell yeah.
Mike, I'll have to
Hell
send
yeah,
you a
bro.
video of it. The cheese
Please.
pull
I
on it
gotta
was
see that.
fucking insanity.
Hell yeah. No,
I
that
I
rules. I
miss
love that
that.
so much.
I
Yeah,
miss that
I bet.
mozzarella stick.
I
Oh,
bet.
so good. I actually forgot to ask this one, Mike. What is your favorite kind of cheese?
Ooh, I like a sharp cheddar and I like a pepper jack.
Hell yeah! But now back to the wrestling questions. The last of the fans submitted as well. Mike SKYROS, what made you want to start wearing more face paint?
Ooh, it was funny because it started out as a one-off. I've always enjoyed face painted wrestlers. Like I've always been a big Muta fan. Obviously, I spoke about being a Jeff Hardy fan.
Oh yeah.
Sting, Sting, I was a fan of, especially like it's weird. I didn't see Sting until he got to TNA, so TNA Sting was really big for me.
Hey, you
Uh,
got Joker Sting wearing the Joker Sting mask.
yeah, New Year, new me. Uh, but yeah, like, and even like as an adult now, like Road Warriors rule. Uh, I really like I even like the Powers of Pain were awesome. Demolition was awesome. Like I don't know, I just took influence from a lot of those guys. But basically, I was like, I had a big match coming up, and I was like, I have a friend that does face paint as like a side hustle, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, would you be willing to do this? And I was just trying it to see how people would react, and the feedback was really good. So I kept that in the back of my mind, like, okay, cool, cool. Fast forward maybe a year and a half later, I had gotten my hair cut in the ring, and I looked at myself and I looked at my wrestling. I was like, man, I want to try something new with my look because like the hair was such a like an identifiable thing for me. It was like my thing for a while. What's gonna be the next thing? I'm like, let me try this face paint thing again and see like how people react. And it was cool. And I eventually learned how to do a way like more simplified version of it when I do it. But I learned to do it for myself, and it was cool, man. It started out as just like wanting to look cool during my entrance, wanting to look cool during my match. I think it's really cool and dramatic when, like, over the course of the match, a lot of times it melts away. I
Oh
think that adds
yeah.
a layer to the match. And over time, I just realized it gets me in a cool headspace. Like, it's like putting on war paint. It's like, okay, like, I'm getting ready to go out and do my thing. It lets me immerse myself even more in my wrestling, which is fun. But if I can summarize it, it's I think it looks cool and it lets me kind of behave like a different person when I'm out there in the ring.
Hell yeah, that honestly rules, and that's something I love too about the face painted people. Like you said, it's like you're 20 minutes in the match, half the face paint's gone, or either fucking on the opponent's chest, or just
Yeah.
all over the place. It just adds that little detail of just like these dudes
Yeah.
wore themselves the fuck out to the point this man's face is half melting. I
Yes.
love it. But Mike, we also have this question. Who is on your professional wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Oh man. I so they were asking who was asking this gentleman, but I forget. There was an interview where someone asked CM Punk this question. I really liked his answer for a few reasons. One, so he spoke about not wanting to do Mount Rushmore and doing the six grandfathers. So Mount
There
Rushmore
you go.
before before they took it for themselves, uh, it was owned by the natives, obviously, like everything else in this country was, and it was the six grandfathers, and it allows me to add two more people. So if I were to do
The six
mine,
grandfathers, then. Give me it.
mhm, Luthez, If it's just, are you talking
It's
just my
your
personal
personal.
people I like?
Your
Okay,
personal.
got you. Luthez, Ron Simmons, Great Muda. Oh, uh, Ron Simmons, Luthez, Great Muda. I would have to put Jeff Hardy on there. I would have to put Hayabusa on there. And
In the last spot.
last one's always the toughest. I gotta put Eddie Guerrero on there. He's too good.
Hell yeah. I was about to say, I feel like
He's
you would
my
be a
favorite.
Ray versus Eddie guy. I feel like that's one of your favorite, like, kickback matches.
Yeah, I like Ray versus Eddie. I like a lot of Eddie's Gringos Locos stuff too. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
that was like that was where you saw the preview of what he would be doing like years later because he was all the way bad guy Eddie, like super like antagonistic, all that. And then he was like good guy, like very like straightforward, uh, not a ton of personality at the beginning of WCW. And then when he started turning on the luchadors, and obviously when he got in that match with Ray, but a bunch of other guys, you really got to see that guy, bad guy Eddie, make a comeback. And he was phenomenal the whole time, but I really like watching a lot of that stuff.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And actually, funny enough, Mike, I just got a notification for a fan submitted question. So we're going to ask
Let's
this one
hear it.
real quick. I love when that happens. That's actually happened quite a few times where
Yeah.
I just get a notification, it's a question. I'm like, oh shit. So let's ask this one real quick here, Mike. Any advice for anyone who wants to get into pro wrestling? This is the 12 years in. What? Any advice for the young up and comers?
Yeah, so the one overlaying statement I can give is there are so many people either when they're waiting to get into wrestling or when they're in wrestling they're thinking they got to make a move, they got to try something new. People are always waiting for the perfect time, the perfect situation. That time and that situation almost never comes. You have to just dive in the deep end. As long as you can put food on the table and a roof over your head, you're covering like your bases, just dive in, go for it, bet on yourself, all those things, because the more you wait around for something to happen, the more those opportunities in life is going to pass you by. So just go for it.
I love that app. I'm the same way too. If you can do it,
Yeah,
do it, man.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
100%. And then I also love asking this question. Mike Skyros, what has been the most gratifying moment of your wrestling career so far?
Man, um, I'm going to go with a recent one, especially because we brought it up earlier, but it was like a culmination of like my life up to that point. So the post match uh, speech from Mike Santana. He had a lot of nice things to say about me, and the crowd was really in my corner. They were really behind me. And it's kind of like I mentioned earlier, but I'm wrestling a dude who's at the very top of wrestling right now. He's a world champion in a huge company. Even though he wasn't world champion at the time, he had just come off of winning the championship, but he didn't tell me he was going to say anything after the match. I wasn't expecting. I was outside the ring when he started talking. He had to tell me to come in. But and that room was special because a lot of those people I've seen my entire wrestling journey, so they know what I've been through. So again, somewhere super local, a company that started me, an incredible opponent, and there's a difference. Without getting too inside baseball, there's a difference between the crowd being behind you, like, oh yeah, that's cool, Mike's wrestling Santana, like good for him, and a crowd being behind you, like, yeah, we're really in Mike's corner. We want him to kick ass. We're happy for him. All those things, and it was that night, and I'm not ashamed to say it, dude. I was very emotional that whole moment after the match, and I'm really glad Mike didn't ask me to talk because you might have seen some tears that night, but it was very gratifying, very emotional. And then I would say another one that was similar to that was wrestling Minoru Suzuki. It was one of those things
Hell yeah.
where as wrestlers, a lot of times we are dramatic, we are insecure, we are petty. There's stupid stuff that comes in between us, especially being on the internet and all that sort of thing. But that was that whole day going into the match, going out of that match. I felt like a, a lot, if not all, of upstate New York was behind me, was rooting for me, was happy for me to be in the ring with a legend and to be able to hang with him like I did was super gratifying. And that's like a really good memory I'm going to carry with me as well.
Hell yeah! And before I gotta know, what was it like wrestling the Murder Grandpa?
It was very intimidating, but it was also the skill set that we train at the Institute of Pro Wrestling, where we are very about our fundamentals. We know the importance of grappling and wrestling holds and good striking and good cardio and all these different things. So it's without knowing that moment was going to come. I've been prepared specifically for that type of match. Suzuki is terrifying, but he is a professional. He was very kind and cool to me. And dude, that whole experience was such a positive. Like there are very few things. I'm always anxious and I always care. And I'm always like excited to go into my match. But that was one of the few times I was nervous. The first time I've been nervous in a very long time, where like I was sitting in the locker room waiting for my music to hit and my hand was like literally shaking like this because I was so nervous to go out to the ring. But such a good experience, man.
Hell yeah! And I also gotta know the Institute of Pro Wrestling for anyone that wants to go train upstate. I guess this is a cheap plug for that, real quick.
Yeah. I
Tell us
obviously I'm
about it.
biased. Yeah. I'm biased because I've been there since 2012. I've seen who's come in and out of that school. There are a lot of good schools in upstate New York, but I think if you want to learn how to be the best wrestler possible, you go to the Institute of Pro Wrestling because you look at the guys that have come out of our school and they're the very best around here. And I don't care who is upset by that statement. Uh, you look at myself, you look at Don Freeze, you look at Corey Jackson, you look at CO2, who's very new but is making waves everywhere he's been going. You look at David Coles, who I haven't gotten along with, but he's a champion at Immortal now. He wrestles all over the country. All those guys are killing it, and it's because they came out of the Institute of Pro Wrestling and they were able to put their talents in that system. So Institute of Pro Wrestling, we have a Facebook page where you can reach us, and any other info on that, you can message me. You can message any of the guys that go to school.
Hell yeah, there you go. Well, Mike, we got 3 questions left on the question board. I
All right.
gotta know, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, it changes all the time. I will say one that I saw this in theaters and it stuck with me ever since is called The Raid. And it's like a martial arts movie. It's about this like police task force that infiltrates this drug lord's building. If you haven't seen it, it's really good. It's got the best like hand to hand combat scenes I've ever seen, and it's a great story. So I really that'd probably be my pick.
Hell yeah! And I have not seen that, so I'll have to definitely I like when the
Check it out.
guests give me suggestions, so hell
Yeah.
yeah. And then we also got this one, second to last question. If you could book your dream concert, Mike Skyros, the dream concert lineup, 3 to 4 bands or artists, anyone, any time period, dead or alive, what would
Okay.
the lineup be?
That was gonna be my next question because dead or alive is a big factor.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be a weird lineup for sure. Uh, I'm having Drain open because I know they're gonna play like 25 minutes. It's going to be complete madness the whole time and it's going to be fun. So Drain's my opener. My my next acts I would probably have Spirit Box and I would probably have Avenged Sevenfold, and then my closer I would, it's between two. It
Throw them
would be
both in,
between
honestly.
Yeah, it'd be probably Sabbath and Zeppelin because I don't think it gets
Hell
bigger than
yeah.
those two. And I haven't gotten to see either of them. I've gotten to see so many of the bands I enjoy. Metallica is incredible. Guns N' Roses was incredible. Judas Priest was incredible. I've seen so many huge acts, but like those are two that I wasn't alive in 1971 where you would have been able to like really see them do their thing. So to get to see them like really do it, that'd be up there for me.
Hell yeah! Hold on, I'm gonna bring in a special guest real quick for the last question. The return
Oh
of
yeah.
Jeff the Cat, my
What's up,
co-host. I
Jeff?
feel like we have not seen Jeff in a minute. Jeff is here.
Hell
He
yeah.
was literally sneaking by, sneezing all over the place. He's been a little sick lately, but I am glad
Oh,
he is here for this part because Mike SKYROS, we are down to the last question. The
all
final
right.
question, the best question, the whole reason we got this podcast. Mike SKYROS, the Moonlight Sun, the wrestling community has to know. What is your favorite kind of soup?
Ooh, you know what? I like a good I like a good clam chowder. A
Hell
good clam
yeah.
chowder or a good miso soup. I'm very simple when it comes to soup. But clam chowder or miso, as long as the clam chowder doesn't have corn in it, for some reason that texture messes with me in soup.
Okay.
But if you have obviously the clams, the potatoes, keep it simple, the broth, that's the money.
I love it. Now, that chowder was I love me a good chowder. When I was
Yes,
living in
sir.
New Jersey, they had Chowder Fest. And it was all the
Yeah,
best chowders they can get in Jersey. And oh,
yeah,
so many chowders.
yeah.
But,
Hell yeah.
Mike, we've talked the soups. We've hit the end of the podcast. This is that part. Plug your social medias. Where can we see you next? Merch plug. All that good stuff.
Yeah, so my next couple, I got Tested Strength Wrestling on April 4th. I have Excite Wrestling on April 12th. I will be at Pro Wrestling Grind, my number one, my home base, April 18th. And you can catch me on all socials at Mike Skyros. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, all those places. So look me up there. I'm usually pretty easy to get a hold of. So if you got a question, if you want to say what's up, I'm there.
Hell yeah, Mike. Before we put a ribbon on this episode, anything you want to tell the fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, anyone who has spent time to buy a ticket to post something nice about me, to take a picture, buy a t-shirt, all that, to take the time to have me on your show and interview you, like all those things are very cool and they don't I don't take them lightly. So thanks to everyone. I appreciate you guys a ton and there are a lot of specific people out there that uh they have kept me going. So I'm very thankful.
Hell yeah. Well, for the Moonlight Sun Mike Skyros, I'm Dewey the Hot Dog. Deathmatch United, soups, death matches, and all good things in between. And I'll catch you on the next one.